Thank you so much for joining me today, Wes, to talk a little bit about your role in the Center for Faculty Development and Excellence. So, my first question is, what aspects of your role as the Senior Director of the CFDE have been the most rewarding, and what has surprised you along the way?
That's a great question, Nora. Thanks for having me. I think by far the most rewarding part of being the director of CFDE is getting to work with faculty across campus, across all of our schools, from the social sciences to the humanities to the health sciences, through all our professional schools and the Oxford campus as well. Being in the business school, it's not very often that you get to have lunch with somebody working on a book project on medieval history or reviewing a grant proposal for a project in psychology. It's like that aspect is really exciting and it's a cool purview on the rest of the university. I think by far the most surprising, every school and department has their own culture and norms. And so getting to learn about what those norms are across the different units across campus can be surprising. But I think more importantly, faculty are still, we're the same. But the things that we care about, we want to do well in the classroom. We care about student well-being and student learning. We love our research. And that's something that I think unites faculty and once we in CFDE can help remind faculty that the reason why we got into this profession is because we love teaching or we love research or we love the intellectual community that is a university. And we can bring that joy to the faculty experience back. And that part's really exciting.
Wonderful. Thank you. My second question is, how is the CFDE supporting faculty as they confront the various political, technological, and other disruptions that are currently affecting higher education? Tricky question.
Ah, that is a big question. So one of the big technological disruptions, of course, is artificial intelligence and Gen AI. And the approach that we take in CFDE is we try and meet faculty where they are. We are forward thinking and we're pragmatic. And so our approach to Gen AI takes that same approach. And we recognize that faculty come to this with different levels of experience and comfort. And we just try and be supportive wherever faculty are on that spectrum. So whether that is helping faculty think through how to integrate particular AI tools into their classroom, or help faculty draft a syllabus policy to try and limit AI use in the class, or co-produce that policy with your students, or bring more learning into the classroom through active learning exercises and team-based work, we're happy to support faculty in any way that we can when it comes to technology. The political challenges that higher ed is facing have been incredibly disruptive. What we try and do is recognize that one of the things that makes universities really special is the community of faculty that comprise them. And when universities are under attack or universities are losing public's trust in them, best support that we have is each other. And the community of faculty that we have in university is really special, and there's nothing like it. So a lot of what we do, the goal is really to build community among faculty. Faculty are a wonderful source of support for each other. And so sometimes that is through our writing retreats and our writing room groups, going back to the idea that faculty really love their work and their research. And so if we can help facilitate collaboration and community building through writing retreats, that's a wonderful way to do it. We've hosted art projects, collaborative art projects in CFDE. We've taken faculty on walks around campus. Anything that we can do to help build community, I think, is another way to respond. Yeah.
I know the librarians appreciate that. We try to participate in as many of those things as possible, and they're really excellent.
Thank you.
Course. Looking 5 years into the future, how do you imagine the CFDE evolving? I know 5 years is a long way out in today's day and age, but just general thoughts.
Yeah, I can barely think a week ahead of time these days. But I think 5 years into the future, we'll be doing a lot more, I'm sure, around artificial intelligence and Gen AI and how it's disrupting education and what kind of thoughtful integration of Gen AI into pedagogy looks like. We'll be much further along in 5 years. I think there's a lot more that we can do in public scholarship. I think that's really one way that faculty can help restore trust in universities is to do a better job of telling the story of what we do and why our work matters. And so public scholarship is certainly one thing that's a priority for CFDE. Also, my goal as director is to try and integrate some of our programs. There's a tendency in centers like ours to create these pillars. We have our teaching and pedagogy work that's excellent. We have our research and scholarship work. We have our leadership programs. But these things are connected. For faculty, most of us don't think of ourselves as split into thirds. Most of us think about ourselves as scholars. And so we think about how our research is connected to our teaching or how leadership skills might inform our approach to the classroom. As CFD, we need to think about the integration as well. So could we develop more programs around the teaching or the scholarship of teaching and help support faculty who are doing innovative things in the classroom, turn that into a publication to share that knowledge with other scholars? Those our leadership programs, if you are a good leader in committees or different units on campus, you can bring those leadership skills into the classroom and convene better classes. And those are listening skills, empathy building skills, and that makes us better educators. And so if we could integrate some of those programs a little bit, I think it'll help us in our goal to support faculty more holistically, recognizing that when a faculty member comes into CFDE, they're bringing their whole self, their teaching self and their research self and their leadership self, and we want to be able to support them as a whole.
And that leads very smoothly into my last question, which is which teaching practices have shaped your approach as the director of the CFD? And in turn, what insights from your leadership are you taking back to your teaching and have or will influence your future teaching?
That's a great question. One of the things I really love about CFDE and our approach to teaching and pedagogy is that everything that we do is student-centered and evidence-based. And so we have wonderful teaching specialists who lead all of our programs who are really on the cutting edge of student learning and are thinking ways to help support faculty in kind of cutting edge teaching techniques to all with the same outcome. How can we help students learn and how can we help support students as learners? And so some of the things I've really embraced in my classes that I picked up through CFDE are things like team-based learning, active learning exercises, innovative ways of thinking about assessment that help support students as their individual growth over the course of a class. I also lead workshops in CFD that are things I've brought to CFD, like embracing play in class. And so in my class, we have a variety of simulations and games and active learning exercises that really are trying to embrace and spark that sense of play and curiosity. And that's a evidence-based kind of pedagogy that helps students form relationships with each other, helps them build confidence in class, also helps spark imaginative thinking. And so I've brought some of those workshops to CFDE to say to share with others. Here's how you can embrace a sense of kind of play and fun in your class, and really no matter what the subject is. I've also participated in some of our leadership programs in the past, and I think it's helped the leadership skills I've learned through CFDE and now being in the position of director really are about empathy. How can you be an empathetic leader and really listen to the concerns and needs of your coworkers and collaborators? I think the same thing that makes me a better teacher. Students are bringing into the classroom prior knowledge. They are incredibly busy. They care deeply about issues in the world. They're also anxious and concerned about job prospects after they graduate. And being able to hear those concerns and teach to those concerns, I think makes me a better educator. And I think those are certainly skills that are leadership skills that I've allowed to that transfer from CFDE into the classroom.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Wes, for joining me at the Business Library today and sharing a little bit more about your experiences with the CFTE. We are very sure our community will be thrilled to hear what you've had to say.
I am always grateful for the libraries and grateful for this opportunity. And I should have said one of the best things of being in CFDE is I get to be in the library every day. And I get to see the sort of buzz of a university every day when I come into work. And that's really fun too, to see all the students working away and then run into all my favorite staff members on campus as they work in their various library offices.
I didn't
So
pay
thank
him
you,
to say
Nora.
that. Thank you.
Of course, of course.